we do not have a quorum. In attendance, we only have Mark Eversman, Vincent Baguetto, and Cindy Watersman. Watersman, I'm sorry.
Who?
Who's here?
So we cannot take votes on anything? How much are we limited?
Cannot take any votes. That's correct.
That's correct. So we will table the minutes. We already approved Portofino's request. I just needed to sign that.
I'm gonna do the pledge of allegiance.
Pardon?
I'm gonna do the pledge of allegiance.
I guess we still. Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, I mean, we can talk about the financials if you pull those up. You know, are what they are. We're still in good shape. Contract with Meriscape is the top line. The rest of the annual tree trimmings going on is, I'm sure everybody's noticed, the tree trimmers started Monday. And they're taking a lot out, which is a good thing.
Especially hopefully by the new poles.
They are supposed to be doing by the new light poles, and if they don't do what we feel is adequate, Fabian knows that we need that done, so we can talk to him and he will hopefully take care of it at that time. Holiday lighting decorations are done. Anyway, budget looks good. We are fine. Which month do you have up there? Because she has corrected the landscaping line. You can see that we have a negative almost $200,000 budget on that top line, which is not correct. And she has redone it. She sent November and December. If you look at December, it's correct.
Yeah,
There it is.
This is October.
Yeah.
We just-
That looks better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Laura did get that corrected. So we will utilize, as you can see, the majority of the tree trimming budget. There is 35,000 remaining balance after what is already allocated. And of that, I did use 3,500 to trim the fence up along tree line between Colonial and the entrance because growth was starting to tear apart the fence, and the golf course was complaining that it was overreaching into their area. And I met with Fabian of Meriscape, and he agreed to do it at cost because I complained that I said a lot of this vegetation is volunteers, which according to the contract, you're supposed to be cutting out as it comes up. He agreed, did it at cost. The total project to go from Colonial to the entrance was $3,500.
There's still a big hole in the fence where the big.
And the golf course did that because there was a palm tree there
Yeah.
and they want to treat the palm tree. So the golf course is the one who cut the fence.
Oh, okay. I like that hole there because I can go through to get my golf ball.
Oh, you shouldn't hit them over there.
They just migrate that way.
So,
So,
any,
Mark, just a quick question. Is the golf course going to address the fence?
yes, I'm assuming they'll put it back together because they're the ones that cut it apart.
I'll keep it on it. Well,
All right.
when I start again.
Does the budget include the rollover from last year?
No, that's it. That's reserves. And actually, I don't think she's added what we had left over from last year into the reserves, because I'm pretty sure we had 245,000. Yeah, a couple 100,000, I think, left over from last year. Yeah, like 160 and stuff from last year.
Laura's about to join, so we could probably ask her that question.
Okay.
Did you give her just a quick set?
I'm here.
Morning, Laura.
So Laura, how much should we do the leftover budget get added to our reserves from this past year?
It's not in there yet. we're in the process of doing the audit. It won't get moved until the auditors finish the audit, which won't be until the end of
Okay.
March.
Okay, I don't think we'll need it before then.
You never know.
No, you got plenty in
Never.
here now, so.
I know,
Laura-
I was joking.
Laura,
I was
what is
joking.
the, oh, what is the pre-audited carryover amount?
Would have to go back and pull what Steven submitted to the board last week.
Oh,
Give me a minute.
okay. I thought maybe if you had it
I
there
don't know.
quickly.
No, I don't remember that stuff. I work with a lot of numbers. I can't keep them all straight.
Can't pull
Give me
them
just a
out.
second. I'll pull it up.
Ed thought it was around 160 at Hedges.
We'll
I'm
look
checking now.
into that.
Just give me a minute. I'm checking.
Okay. So that's about $150,000. And again, a lot of the reason we had that money left over last year was because we didn't do the tree trimming in last year's budget cycle. So, and as you can see, the tree trimming is a large budget item. We waited on the hardwoods for 3 years, which I didn't really have a problem with because they were okay. This is the first year that I felt they were really looking overgrown and needing to be thinned. And if you can delay that, I mean, that's a big ticket item to trim the hardwoods. Palm trees
So-
just need to be done every year for aesthetics. Yes,
So when you said the hardwood pruning was okay, was that a pun? Okay.
no,
Oh,
it
okay.
was not.
The total carry forward estimated for Pelican right now is about 185,000.
Okay.
Or
They
just
don't
the
have
land.
that broken out. They don't have it broken out by ponds, landscape, safety, security, general. But total for Pelican, according to Steven's numbers, is about 185,000.
And keep in mind, Mark, that ponds was 100,000 over, I believe. So,
Okay,
But that's
mean,
that's
so-
included in there. Yeah, they figured all of that. So that would be
okay.
any more questions, comments on financials? I think we can still discuss the amendments to cul-de-sac monument that you had proposed, if you want to call that up. I read through it and I have 2 comments. One, I have told people or told the HOAs, the request has to come from the president of the HOA.
Right.
Because otherwise I've gotten 3 requests from one HOA and none of them know that the other one is requesting it. And so I've told them the request has to come through the president or I'm not going to honor it. So that seems to have worked out rather well. And the other thing is, we do not care which contractor they use, as long as it's approved and they're registered with the GSCDD. A lot of them choose to use Ameriscape, but a lot of them choose to use somebody else. So
And that has been our challenge, is trying to get them to be approved by the district. So what we're proposing that if the committee or subcommittee is willing to approve or to consider, and this item will be brought back to next month's meeting once we have a full forum, to reimburse the HOA directly versus the vendor, because the Laura's team and the fiscal team and the district's having difficulties trying to get all the paperwork required to be an approved vendor by the district. Laura, can you kind of expand on that?
Sure. A lot of what we run into is on the insurance side. I don't have a problem getting a W-9, but because they're working on district property, there are specific insurance requirements that need to be met. And a lot of the smaller companies can't meet our insurance requirements. So this way, if the HOA takes it on and we're just paying the HOA or reimbursing the HOA for it, then we don't have to jump through all those hoops of getting the W-9 and getting the insurance and making sure that they meet all those requirements.
So
So
then
now
the
you're gonna-
HOA, oh, go ahead, Mark.
well, previously I had been told very strictly that we would not reimburse an HOA. We would only reimburse a contractor that was registered with the GSCDD. And I guess I just have concerns because a lot of HOAs are gonna start doing stuff and expecting us just to reimburse them for it.
Oh, no, the process hasn't changed. The only thing that changed at the end is where the check is gonna go. So they still need to come for approval. They still need to go through all of the steps, except they need to pay for it up front, and then we would reimburse them up to whatever amount was approved by the subcommittee.
Are we gonna require that they use a vendor, or can they just go to Home Depot and buy their own stuff?
I guess that would be something that you need to figure out. I mean,
Well-
if you guys are okay with that, then that's fine, but I think that needs to be written in.
Well, previously I had been told that was not an option.
I think my question to you would be, because Ameriscape is responsible for keeping everything watered, trimmed, and living, that would be the biggest thing. Where then you'd be asking them to support and upkeep and maintain stuff that got purchased at Home Depot versus something that came from a landscaper.
That's a challenge right now anyway, because people are putting in things that Ameriscape doesn't really like taking care of, and we'll ignore that if possible.
And I think you gotta be careful of having somebody do the work that isn't properly insured and that would work on district property.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're letting homeowners just go out and do whatever they want, we really have no insurance for that.
It's completely up to you if you want to keep going the way that Chelsea and I spoke about this, and she is on board with, I know previously we said, no, we would not reimburse the HOA, but she is on board with it. But if you guys want to keep the policy the same, this is your committee. This is the policy that you guys wrote. So if you want to keep it that it needs to be a district approved vendor, I'm totally fine with that. Just understand that there may be some times when a vendor gets chosen by an HOA that they can't do the work because they aren't going to be able to meet our requirements.
And I'm fine with that, and I would rather leave it that way for liability purposes and also just the headaches of HOAs. Who knows what they'll end up doing.
Can you publish a list of approved landscape companies so that they know where they are at?
It can, I mean, we've had HOAs have select a vendor and we just tell them if they're not approved, then
It seems like a facilitator that you could provide a list of.
I don't know.
That are already approved if you gotta go out.
Then that saves the approval
Yeah.
time too. Do you have a list of approved vendors? Does someone have a list?
We really don't have like a list, but most of the places
That's
use the
important.
same thing. It's Ameriscape, Mainscape, Great View. We've got some others. I mean, it would be really hard for me to single out landscape vendors from our list of vendors is like 3,500 names. So for me to single out who's a landscaper would be kind of difficult. The best thing is just to shoot me an email or shoot Sherry or accounts payable an email and we can check.
What did they say at the president's meeting about this?
they haven't said anything. I've just gotten up and said, this is the process. I get a request from the HOA president. We will discuss it and approve it if we have appropriate funds. You must have a vendor that has been registered with the
It
GSCDD.
only come from the presidents now. So do the presidents know that?
I've told them twice now as to whether they don't all know it, because I've gotten requests after that. And, oh, I didn't know that. It's like, it was at your meeting the week before. So anyway, it's a work in progress, but we're making a lot of headway. And the fact that we've already done over half of them, I mean,
As an alternative, maybe what we could do is, as an option, provide them what we require as a district to the HOA. So when they solicit proposals or bids from landscapers, just condition it that you must meet these requirements before you submit a bid. And as part of that, if you submit a bid, and you get awarded, you would have to provide this documentation to the district.
and I've told them that when they've requested that must be an approved contractor. And if I think they're using one that's not Ameriscape or Grayview or one of the normal ones, it's like they got to file their W-9. They have to give their liability insurance and meet the criteria. So they're aware of that. And if their landscape, and I've had them say my landscaper couldn't meet it. okay.
The insurance is
Yeah.
very high for a
The
small,
insurance.
for a small company. It eliminates.
And if that's the case, that's it. I mean, there's a reason we have those requirements out there, so. Anyway, I would really,
Could I just step in 1 sec?
No.
I think if it isn't broken, we should leave it alone. It would also allow for consistency and professionalism. If I know as an amateur landscaper, I couldn't do the job as a professional would. I try my best, but it also would protect us against damage. You know, it would hold the insured landscaper to do a repair, for example, on a sprinkler system if it's damaged. So in my opinion, we should leave it the way it is at this point.
Okay, now that we have Bruce, we can meet a quorum, but can I get a motion?
I didn't think Bruce qualified, since he wasn't present, to be added in for a quorum.
That's a-
You have to have a
Okay.
physical quorum in order to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that-
And
So there has to be
That was
four,
my-
you guys have 7, so there has to be 4 people in the room.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
and so we can't even add anybody at this time because we don't have a quorum to add them.
Yeah.
But we can discuss who we're gonna, I mean, who's put in.
All right, so.
So
that's
I
our
guess
opinion on
my biggest thing is, can you guys at least review the flow of the process and make sure that you're okay with that? Because there seems to be some
no.
confusion as to like how it goes. And I'm totally fine whatever you decide. Again, it's your policy. There's nothing in it that concerns me from a district standpoint. I just need to make sure it makes sense and that it's going to be well, as easy as possible to follow, and that you guys are okay with the flow. That's the biggest thing.
To my knowledge, we've been pretty much following the flow. I mean, we have the applications in front of us now for people requesting funds, of which we can approve or deny depending on our financial situation at the time, and making sure that they haven't utilized these funds in the past 3 years. And we've just been allowing them, is what we've been doing, up to $2,500. They then make sure that they have a licensed vendor that is registered with the GSCDD. They send me their proposals and I comment if I feel I need to comment. As long as everything looks okay, I say, go ahead. They then tell the vendor to go ahead and send the bill directly to the GSCDD. And I think it's been working.
Yeah,
Maybe
are you guys
others.
actually going back out to make sure that it actually needs to be done, or are you just taking their word for it? Because that's what's written into the policy, is that somebody is supposed to go out there and when you get the thing to go out and evaluate and say, yes, it needs it, no, it doesn't.
You start to walk a fine line on it. I mean, I go out and I look at it, and most of them haven't been touched in 20 years. And other ones, they're half dead. And I just got a request on one yesterday. A person called and I said, you were done a year and a half ago. You aren't eligible for funds. And they said, well, our monument doesn't look good. And I said, I'm sorry, I agree with you, but you're not getting funds out of us for another year and a half. And they said, okay, thank you.
Okay,
So it's working. I don't think we should.
I think it's working. Again, the only thing I would like to add in there is the request has to come from the president.
and I think that's actually on the form, that it says it needs to come from the
Oh.
president, or it's in I saw it in there somewhere that it has to come from
I
the
didn't see
president.
it in the flow that has been put together.
I thought it said right here, requester's name, president of HOA/POA.
Right,
Yeah,
it is included.
it's on the form, but it's not in the policy.
Okay, we can add that in. That's a simple
Yeah.
change.
That's really it. And again, I don't want to say any particular vendor has preference over another one, as long as they meet the requirements of the GSCDD.
Okay.
Very good. So we'll add the president to the policy, bring that back next month.
We can talk about potential new members if you would call up. We had 2 apply. Jeff Shea is one from Palazzo. And the other one was Ted Greenlee. There was a third person that said they would apply, but they were traveling. So due to the fact that we can't act on that
Mhm.
at this month, we may have a third applicant for next month.
I don't think she had
One.
just one.
One open. And I'm happy to see we got more than one applicant. We did get an applicant, and it's even more than one, so that's a good sign. Does anybody have any comments on either? Hey, Bob, we don't have a forum, Bob, so we're just having a discussion. I have we'll get to that later. Staff updates, if you just want to run through that.
Yes, I'll briefly do that. So the FPL streetlight projects, to date, we've only had 3 little minor incidents regarding water main or water breaks on irrigation systems. They are progressing pretty well. I think right now, we were hoping that they would go through Pelican Preserve Boulevard and work their way all the way to the end of Palazzo, but there was issues with trying to get the locates from the city of Fort Myers on the water lines. So they moved on to Cypress Grove, working from Pelican Preserve Boulevard out to east on Cypress Grove. But they'll go back to Palazzo once the city's utilities company does their locates on the water mains. The next item is just an FYI with the landscape subcommittee. It's a LED lights along Cypress Grove, and we received a resident that complained about the blinking golf cart crossing sign, that it's impeding or affecting their home or their enjoyment of their backyard. So this safety and security subcommittee will be addressing that item in the next meeting. The next item is the Arch Bridge repair and painting. We are working with a contractor to try to get all their documents in order to be an approved vendor with the district so that we could issue the purchase order and have them commence the work. Cindy just provided a quick update that Ameriscape has trimmed back the hedges and the landscaping, which I greatly appreciate. So it should not impede them to be able to do their work. Then the last thing is the Pelican Preserve Mill and Resurface. We did a walkthrough, pre-construction walkthrough with Jay Gann and a couple members of Tetra Tech engineering firm, just to identify areas that, any issues, especially with the gutters. So we're going to be, Tetra Tech will be putting that scope of work together so that we put that out to bid. The one thing that may affect the landscape subcommittee is that there's some of the landscaping is kind of overhanging and going onto the road or the curbing. So there may be some areas that we may have to have Ameriscape kind of trim back for that work commence. We're still a few months out, but it's just, there was just a little bit of overhang of landscaping onto Pelican Preserve on the curbing, not on the road so much, just on the.
Where would that be? I've never seen anything that.
It's only an isolated area, but I just kind of want to, I'll let Ameriscape know that they'll have to address that prior to construction. But it's not a major issue.
Paul, I have a question for you.
Yes.
On the golf cart sign, is there a way to make it light reactive in that you put like a timer on it?
We're discussing that in the next meeting, the Safety and Security Subcommittee. We'll address it at that time, if you don't mind.
Okay, good.
It flashes at night when no golf carts are crossing.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, and that was probably one of the intent and purposes is that to be able to have it there. So it's an issue we'll address.
Because I looked and it does light up some people's lanais and it does, but.
So this kind of tells you, just kind of shows you an aerial of where the flashing light is located, and this is Bellagio, and this is the resident that is complaining about the light.
That far away?
Yes.
Wow, I thought I would see a Villa Court could be concerned.
I'm sure it was somebody in Bellagio.
Yes, it was Bellagio.
There was a person in Portofino that was complaining.
So
One of the
this,
solutions was for you to plant a big tree that right.
Yeah.
right.
Right in front of the sign, that'll take care of it.
And this is the view from the backyard, I mean, from the sign to the backyard of the resident that's complaining. So there is some trees and shrubbery that kind of in a way, but they're still saying that it affects their
Okay,
enjoyment of the backyard. So,
all right.
I have a question on number 3, the bridge.
yes,
Going back to the bridge, you're having Bentley look at the electric for what portion?
there is a conduit that was installed as part of the holiday lights.
Mhm.
And that conduit is made out of steel and that's rusting through and which is bleeding onto the bridge. So I have called them to see if we could meet to discuss possibly replacing that steel conduit with a PVC, non-rust, material that's not going to rust out and bleed onto the bridge. Yes, yes, because right now there would be no purpose in us in trying to repaint it and then that conduit just leaks out. Because no matter what you try to do to try to clean it, that rust will still kind of get through and affect the paint.
And have they given you an appointment?
I reached out to them. I got to follow up with them again.
Okay, because I'm meeting with Ian today.
Are you?
Yeah, do you want me to walk them back there as part of my walkabout?
Yes, let me know what time and I'll meet you.
11 o'clock, you're in the next meeting.
Right, so,
Yeah,
Now, one more thing about a bridge. I go for golf cart rides at night. Trentino Estates, they have a burnt out light on their.
We
bridge.
know, we're
Oh,
addressing
I
it.
don't want to get,
We're addressing it.
you don't want to get them wound up.
yes, we are working on that.
They already submitted and we're
Yes.
taking care of it.
And that particular light, we have to replace the entire fixture, so that's what we're waiting.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Those are all my.
Okay,
Any other questions?
all right. The next thing I already talked about, we trimmed along the fence along tree line. We took care of that. So hopefully the golf course is happy
I have
and
some questions. I was hanging out for this one, sorry. 2 questions. 1, was this part of the contract? And 2, is the amount that you submitted for, is that our half or is that the whole amount?
that for the trimming along the fence on tree line between Colonial and our entrance, I met with Fabian and agreed that we both should suffer a little pain on that one because they were not taking care of volunteer vegetation as they were supposed to. But some of the problems were not from volunteer vegetation. They were just from plants that haven't been trimmed in a while. So he agreed to do the work on strictly time and material basis with no upcharge.
So we're eating the whole
So-
cost.
For what?
So we're eating the whole cost. Basically.
No, there's no markup on it that we would normally incur.
Okay.
There's no profit. There's no profit to Ameriscape.
But we still have to
So we're
pay
paying, we're
somebody.
still paying them for something that they should have been doing anyway. That was my concern.
Some
But-
of it.
So, but this is in the contract now. We're not gonna get charged extra for them to keep maintaining this, correct?
They should be taking care of this when they do their normal trimming, but all they were doing was the front towards the road. They weren't doing the back of the bushes is the problem.
Okay,
So
but we aren't gonna be paying anything extra for them to continue to maintain the stuff that they were supposed to be maintaining all along, and we shouldn't
That
be
is
paying this
correct.
in the first place. Okay,
that is
I
correct.
just want to make sure I understood. Because you were talking about a split cost and I didn't know who we were splitting the cost with. So, okay. So I had not approved your purchase order request until I was able to get some clarification. So I'll go ahead and push that through.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. The next item that we have on here is the Pistoia request. And I would like to, and I do have the ability to do it, just to go ahead and approve it because it's pretty straightforward. They went through all the proper hoops. They're going to use Ameriscape, so that's pretty straightforward. The only thing I did on this one was they sent me their request with the list of plants, and of course it came out to $2,978 or $2,478, and part of it was 6 Caribbean agave.
oh,
And I said, and that was almost like $800. And I said, I'll put in 6 Caribbean agave for you. have that stricken from Ameriscape's proposal, which they did. And the other thing I'd like to talk about, and I'm still not quite sure how this is going, is Ameriscape is still, maybe they've stopped now, but trying to charge an additional 10% for irrigation. So I met with Fabian and I basically said, I'm not happy about it. And he said, well, we at times are incurring additional irrigation costs if we have to change out heads and do whatever. And he said, our way of doing that was just to throw an adder in on everything and figured it evened out. And he agreed he would lower that percentage, that 10% might be a little bit high. Then I see something coming from Paul afterwards that said, or I thought it was you that said, take it off.
It was
We don't
me.
pay. Okay,
It was me.
sorry.
Yeah, yes, if I could just expand on that. So when it's a programming change, increasing the time of watering, the days of watering, that is included in the contract. So, and I did talk to Brandy about this. So those program changes are very simple and should be not.
But that's a community association responsibility. They run the master. That's the problem with the contract, is it's in both contracts, but it's the community association runs the master, not PPAC.
Okay, so
It's in both contracts, and I tried to get you guys to take it out when they did the contract, but nobody wanted to take it out, so.
okay, so that's the first one. The
That's
second issue is that when I spoke to Fabian and he agreed to programming, if there's a change of programming, it should be no charge. The issue comes into play when there's a change in either the planting or the plant itself that requires either an upgrade to the irrigation system, or it requires additional, piping, infrastructure, anything regarding to watering that plant or that area. That's where Ameriscape incurs additional expenses. That's where he presented this adder. He did say that he decreased the amount from 10% to 7%. So that's the only cost he's trying to recover. So I just want to clarify for everyone, but the programming change, and I hear you what you just said, Ed, but that would be no charge. I mean, if it's a like for like plants or landscaping. But
Can I get my 2 cents on that too? My thought was, if it's I understand if they need to supply extra materials, but sometimes it's literally just like changing the coverage of the sprinkler head or the way that we're not paying extra for that. If they need to physically install extra equipment, I'm okay with paying them more, but to just blanket charge us for stuff, I don't think is right.
So do we want them to give us further details as far as like price per, sprinkler head, length of pipe added, or some sort of level of detail that we would be comfortable with approving or reviewing and approving prior to them submitting, an increase in cost?
For me, that would be my preference. If you're going to charge me for irrigation changes, I would expect that there's actually going to be a change. That's more than changing the timer or changing the coverage of a sprinkler head, or, if they physically have to move or add something that's going to take some time, then I would expect that we would pay them more. I guess it kind of depends on the complexity of what they're going to be doing. But then they shouldn't just blanket charge us for everything, because everything isn't going to need that.
Their argument was they get out there and they don't even know that they need to make, the irrigation people don't know that they need to make a change until they see what the planting is. And by then they've already sent in their proposal. We've accepted it. I mean, that part is done. So now they're trying to backpedal and charge us for something that needs to be done.
to check before they make a proposal.
Anyway,
Or they can
so
just submit a change to it, which is fine.
their solution
rather-
was just to put a percentage on everything and not to try and look at each project individually.
Well,
But if they don't do any extra work, then why are we paying the extra percentage? Not like I want to nickel and dime, but.
Yeah, I'm not trying to argue either way. I'm just saying that is their perception of how they're trying to handle it. And if that doesn't work for us, then so be it. I'm not, well, some of this is kind of coming out in the wash, which I will talk to after this discussion, because they are putting this adder on their bids and they are losing some bids because of that adder. So,
I would agree with Laura. I mean, a blanket, percentage doesn't work for us.
okay,
We would need a little more detail and we could get with Fabian to make sure that they do a little more, upfront work in determining what needs to be changed, if anything. And that to give us a good hard, number when they submit the estimates or proposals.
in the past, when we would put in palm trees or other trees that they would put a bubbler, they would charge us for each individual bubbler that would go at the base of the tree. So we were paying for those and they were designated on the quotes already.
Yeah, and that makes sense, but just to
Yeah.
add 10% because they may or may not have to do something physically with parts with the irrigation, I'm not okay with that.
Okay,
Okay. I mean, I agree. So, I could get back with Fabian and just ask him just to provide that level of detail so that everyone's comfortable moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, if they get out there and they do the work and they need to make a change to the original quote or when the invoice comes in, even if they would put it on there, I would rather have it come in after the fact. I mean, it's best if they can do it on the quote, but I'd rather have it be accurate and we pay for what they actually did. If that makes
Okay.
sense.
that makes sense.
Yep. Fine.
It's just more work for them, which that's not our problem.
Right.
Right.
Well, it's only more work if they want to get paid.
Right.
I mean, we need to be responsible with the money that we're spending, so
Yep.
I think that's fair. That way there's no question. They actually did the work. They didn't just say, oh, we're just gonna add on a certain percentage because we think that's about what it'll cost. It could be more, it could be less. This way it's fair. They're being paid for what they did.
That's why I started questioning this back in October. It's kind of gone.
They didn't
off
even
course.
blink when I sent that back and said, take it off, we're not paying it. And they're like, okay, here's your new quote.
Yeah,
It was that fast.
same day.
Mhm.
All right.
I have a quick update on the Christmas lights,
Okay.
holiday lights. Here's an updated contract signed by the vendor
Okay.
for 2026, which is the last of our 3 years. So after this, we'll have to go through the bid
Bid
again.
cycle.
Yep, bid cycle again for next year. We're not doing the 2 monuments, the Colonial and Tree Line,
Okay.
because of the numerous problems we had.
Yep.
That money is being diverted into the community. And we are pretty specific where we're gonna put it, so that it's 1 for 1. We're not losing any
That's
money spent. His lights are still up at Colonial Tree Line. And, we'll have to get the police involved to come out and be there with him to take it down because the homeless have moved back in.
Oh, I didn't
On
see them
both sides.
yesterday.
Hmm?
I did not see them yesterday.
Yeah, so, we're gonna do that shortly. The damage he caused up by the fence, he'll bring a roller in this week to roll that ground. That he
Oh,
drove up into.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty much all for the holiday lighting. So you have that, you're
Right.
taken care of. And the other question I had was, up in the same area where he drove,
Yep.
we had a PO to do behind there. Are we still doing that?
Behind there.
You were gonna match side to side.
All done.
They just did it.
Oh, they did?
Uh, 4 days ago, 5
Yep.
days ago.
Sorry, I've been kind of out of the loop there.
That was done.
Good, good.
And we also did several new plantings that Susan Atkinson had proposed along Pelican Preserve Boulevard. And we still have a couple decent sized beds to do. They did remove an area, you get just past the guards, gate coming in.
It's all straw mulch right now.
Yeah, and the arbicola in there was all dying. So we just had it taken out. And quite truthfully, we got a really good deal from Great View on doing that. Great View had the contract to do the landscaping that Susan had proposed along Pelican, and she threw that in. I don't even think we got charged for it. So that was a great deal.
Yeah, good deal.
A question about your lights.
Yes.
25% of the round globes were not working. As you came into the gatehouse,
We had 2 that went out.
sounded more than 2.
2 that, he replaced 1 in the very beginning, we had problems with solar lights on the pergolas.
Yeah.
This year we will have, electric in the 3 roundabouts.
Yeah.
So that solar lighting will go away. And the garland that we used at the very front will be on the back of the gatehouse now. So when you leave, it will all be lit up.
Mhm.
The extra lighting is going down the median, even though there's been complaints about that.
One person.
Yes, we're going to light up the Majules, we're going to light up the smaller palms and continue with what we already had done, 11 this year. The only thing we're not reusing are 2 wreaths. So I'm trying to get more, bigger orbs next
Mhm.
year. The orbs are in there, but not the exact size. So I'm dealing with that to put our money towards that. The orbs are a big problem when they go out because they have to rent a machine to come back in to get up there and do it. But they do not go unnoticed, trust me.
We got a lot of positive comments on the Christmas lighting. I appreciate Cindy for all her hard work, and dealing with the homeless was a huge
You should offer
undertaking.
to pay the homeless to take down the lights.
Oh, my God. Yeah, there's,
Can you give us an update on what's going on as far as electrifying the roundabouts? Where are we on that?
yes, they do a subcontractor for the bore under the road. He's severely behind schedule.
Will they have it done before Christmas?
Oh, yes. That's what I kept pushing. And Ian's supposed to come out to give me an idea if we can get electric in the median,
Which median?
the median that we're lighting up. Because last year we
Okay.
came across with the oak
Yeah,
across and the vendor's line was cut twice. So we're trying to see, he runs it off the monument, out of the 4 monuments, he runs off there and comes up. So I'm just asking because if it's reasonable and we can bore at the same time and save money, because you'd have to bore under there as well, just to see what it would cost.
so there is no electrical in the median?
There were old lights there.
There were
When
lights.
WCI or Sun City.
Well, we're gonna go through all that at 11 o'clock today,
Okay.
Yeah.
just to do a walkabout. I'm on Bentley about it,
Okay.
about getting the work done. My only concern is that they are roundabouts and how Bentley will handle traffic. Because, people get a little fussy about that.
Oh,
Really?
I might be out there with the traffic vest on.
And I've done.
You're nuts.
Thanks, Cindy. A couple small items along the fence on tree line. 5 larger Calusia that had blown down, I assume, and Ian finally fell down again. There's just basically no roots on them. So I got quotes from Ameriscape and Greatview to replace them. And I will award the bid to Greatview as they were $80 lower than Ameriscape on it. And we have Sanchesia. There's some bushes that we're trying. Anyway, I asked for a quote on 3 of them and I'll award that to Greatview. And the difference is the irrigation extra fee that they want to add on. So Greatview will get both of those. That's only $165. So neither one is big. That's pretty much Marty.
Question on the historic, roundabout.
Yep.
There's still tire tracks from the moving van. Did we ever resolve that with the music company?
Actually, we were told later that somebody said it wasn't the moving company, it was a mulch company. And that is a point of contention for me because Pistoia notifies us, complains about it. And I said, okay, who saw it? Can they give us more information? No, they don't want to get involved.
That's the end of it,
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of did. I said,
because the tire tracks are still there.
well, they're getting funds to improve that cul-de-sac now. And I'm assuming they will remedy that, but I wasn't very happy to be told that they don't want to be involved.
Thank you. That's what you should have told them, that we will.
Well, I didn't. I let it go at that point.
You
Just
think
said,
somebody has a camera, doorbell,
Yeah.
a Ring doorbell.
well, a person saw it. But when
Well-
he was approached, he said he didn't want to be involved.
Mhm.
If can I on that topic or can I not?
Sure. Sure.
I can't think of the guy's name from the pond committee who I met with when we had the issue in the preserve. He's the one who told me personally that it wasn't a moving van. It was a landscaping company used by the golf course when they were laying sod. And we brought this up about 2-3 meetings ago. And because it was a year ago, everybody kind of pushed it under the rug saying, well, it's already been passed, how can we go back now? But I do have somebody who witnessed it as a golf course issue. I just don't remember his name. If I got the list of names from the pond committee, I would know exactly who it is. But he certainly witnessed it. So if we want to take it further, we can.
At this point, Pistoia is going to redo the cul-de-sac, and I would assume that will be taken care of at the same time. So
Okay, end of issue then.
Hey, Bruce, this is Bob. Would it have been Jim Latham?
That wasn't Jim. I know Jim well. It's
And the other one is, it's responsible for the conservation is Al,
Liquor?
Slick.
it was
Those
he
are the two
lives,
that would be.
he's one of the residents on Pistoia. He had asked me to come to his house to help him shortly after we did the preserve walk through.
Okay, it's not important as
Yeah.
Mark said.
Yeah, I don't think it was Al. I definitely know it wasn't Jim.
I have a question regarding, this is just for knowledge. The preserve that's behind Bella Vista, between Bella Vista and Sevilla, what committee does that fall under?
ponds.
Ponds, got it. Then I gave the right answer when somebody asked me. That's what I said, ponds.
The right answer is not us.
Yeah, I still got out. I thought it was ponds. I just wanted to-
Wow.
Yeah, one just general information item. The board approved installing the multimodal, starting the engineering for installing the multimodal path on the C5 side of Tree Line from the C5 community down to Winn-Dixie. So at our last meeting last week, we approved the engineering funds this year. And then I'm gonna put the construction funds in the 27 budget. It's all being paid for out of 01, because it's no longer ours, but I just want people in the community to realize that we're moving forward with that.
So, what was it that we're moving
We're
forward?
gonna have a multi-mode thing.
A sidewalk.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Thank
sidewalk
you.
would be cool.
Thank you.
Figure that one out.
So when you cross, Tree Line Boulevard at Pelican Preserve,
Mhm.
you can get on the other side and go all the way to Winn-Dixie.
And right now it just stops at that block.
Right now, stop.
Where the new homeless living back there. There's
Yeah.
another homeless encampment back there.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Still have a sidewalk now.
they'll have a sign.
Can you put in electric for them?
Yes, they like electric.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay.
I have a question for Paul. If we wish to get a monument repainted that we have hopefully remedied, can I just contact you?
Yes.
And it doesn't need to be completely repainted, but the center one, as you come in, I had them go check the irrigation and they said it's working fine. No, it's not, because it's staining.
Yeah.
And then a week later, okay, we adjusted all the irrigation and it's not hitting the monument anymore. So if we could just touch that one up, that would be great.
That would not be a problem, but yes, if we could address the irrigation that's overspraying and.
Supposedly,
that would help
they
us.
have told me
Yes.
that they have definitely done that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any discussion?
Get any candidates to join the group?
2 people have applied,
No,
but we cannot act
three.
on that because we don't have a quorum.
You know, I brought this up before, but that LED, one light still in the Foxtail Palm, as you pull in the entrance is still snapped off on the ground. Very first tree from the medium.
I mean, Bismarck?
No, it's I think it's a plot. The very first trees you pull in off the tree
It's the
line,
baby one.
it's
like
a smallest one and the light
It's a royal.
Yeah.
It's snapped off on the ground.
All right, one minute stop. Is there a possibility of extending this meeting to a point in time when you get quorum to get those two names through? Just have a, I don't know what the legal of it is, Laura, but that this meeting doesn't shut down today. Extend it till Monday of next week or
You
Tuesday.
would have to continue it to a time and date certain, which means you have to make sure that everybody can be there and we have a room and all of that.
So
Or you
don't
can
have
just
to
put
do-
it off until February.
I was trying to accelerate.
When's Bruce gonna be back?
Take a couple days.
Online, Bruce, did you hear the question?
I return on Tuesday now because our flight got pushed back because of the impending snowstorm, but I'll definitely be there for the February meeting.
Or you could do this next Wednesday. Oh,
Well, we have to post this a week in advance, right?
oh, okay.
So
Be like
the soonest we could do it would be next Thursday.
Do you have to post it if it's a continuation of?
I think, yeah, I need to check on that. We still have to put it out there, but I don't think the 7 days applies if you're doing the continuation because everything's already been published. We still need to advertise it though.
So it'd have to be Susan or.
I don't know when Susan will be back.
She should be back Friday.
Or you just let it go until February.
Who said she'll be back Friday?
Peggy.
Okay,
The bad thing about February is that PPAC doesn't get it till March. That's why,
well, I don't have a problem having just a short meeting to select a new member of the committee. As long as we can get 4 of us there.
Yeah, I'm definitely out next Thursday. I know that.
Georgia? Or is Georgia on there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, can you send emails to Bruce Blatt and Susan Atkinson to see if they are available? Anybody have a day better than another?
Can't do Thursday, I know that.
Can't
If
do
it
Thursday.
doesn't matter if I'm here, if you get the.
Well,
others. Yeah,
let's make sure the 3 of us can be there and we'll just try and pull in one more.
Friday. It's
I'm
Friday?
sure, hello,
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm certainly, you'll be back by next Thursday. I'm due
How about-
back Tuesday.
Friday at 9 o'clock.
I would be fine with that.
All right,
Friday the 30th.
Yes.
Georgia, can you see if Susan Atkinson and just send it to Bruce also? We'll be able to make a meeting on Friday at 9 a.m.
Yes. Where would the meeting be? You have to make sure that it's available.
even if you have to sit out here.
Yeah, we could either in this conference room or right outside this conference room. Because we're only going to act on one item.
Okay.
Can I ask why it's so critical that we add one member?
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering the same thing.
Me
We
too.
don't have a
I
quorum
mean, that's a
today.
big expense for us.
Because you have to pay to have minutes and everything too. I mean, my opinion, just let it ride till February.
I would concur with that.
That's one, you got a quorum.
Bruce, you still there?
Yes, I am.
Will you be here in February?
The February meeting I will be at, yes.
All right. We can wait till February.
And then the feedback on the budget. That's fine.
So
Well,
disregard Georgia.
as long as we have, as long as we can get a quorum at our meeting,
Yeah.
that's all I really care
Right.
about.
Right.
And how many people are on your subcommittee board right
Seven.
now?
Seven.
How many, no, but how many physical people are
6.
members? Okay, so you
6.
still need 4 people.
Okay, so you really only do have one opening.
Yes.
Correct.
Right.
So yeah, but you still need 4 because it has to be more than half.
Right.
Correct.
If the three, well, if you're gonna have 4 people in February, then you'll be fine.
Right.
Are we settled that?
Anything else for the good of the cause? All right. If it's not official meeting, I guess we can all go home.
I oppose.
Thanks,